wish that I could bake a cake made out of rainbows and smiles and we'd all be happy.
She doesn't even go here.
Who's coming with me besides Flipper? Here.
Hashtag Grr Mondays.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
When you want to talk sports, you ask folks who have seen it all up close. So on The Al Travis Show, we go with the guys at the end of the bench. Time to talk all things sports.
We've got him, Dan. John's not with us today. Dan from the end of the bench. Dan, how you doing, my boy?
I get to be the guy. I am doing well. I am doing very well. So, yeah, it's a nice Friday. It's an exciting sports next several days coming up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I want to, before we get to sports, because that's all exciting and all meaningful. Bertie tells me, once again, Dan has found another theater that he may want to partake in, and you might have tried out for a show. Now,
yes.
All that being said, you and I both know Dan doesn't try out anymore. Your theater resume is so thick, you let others know you're willing to be in, am I correct? And then it goes from there, right?
That's about, that's kind of I think that's about, I don't like to say that myself.
I understand. That's why I throw it out. People need to know.
I won't.
First off, what's the play and where that you're trying for?
Once Upon a Mattress, the musical.
Good show.
So the musical that made Carol Burnett a star.
Yep. Okay.
That's if you go way back.
You don't mind doing a little singing. Is that your forte? Is acting more your thing, or you're the guy with the dance moves? Which one of those is your three tops?
Let's just say the number 3 is not the case. Absolutely not. I'm a singing I'm a singing and acting guy.
Okay. So what do you prep for something like that? Do you generally try to find a song from the show, and you know you're going to do that and show them, or you got a standard, you do tomorrow?
Yeah,
do you do that every time?
In most cases, if it's a musical, the best way to handle it is to sing a song pre-prepared that you is in the style of the character that you would like to play, but not from that show. For whatever reason, there's the unwritten rule that you maybe it's because the director doesn't want to hear, 15 Tony want to be singing Maria, over and over again. So
that makes some sense. Fair enough. So you went out, you tried out already. Is that what I'm going to do? You have done the audition, and
yes,
are these solo? Give us a quick rundown. You walk in and there's 12 other guys dressed in the similar outfit because you all think you got to look the same, and you're reading in front of others. Is it one-on-one? How does this work? Is it sleeping with someone on a couch? I've heard this stuff in the industry.
Not at this level, or at least if it is at this level, it's probably because there's a marriage license involved.
Keep trying, Dan. Okay, not at this level. What do you got to do?
No, it's usually it's like you're kind of held off. Everyone who's auditioning is kind of held off in a room to the side, or a corridor, like is often the case, and you're just called in the order that you showed up. And then what you're doing is then you sing and maybe do a little bit of acting while you're singing with the director, the music director, maybe the choreographer, stage manager, might be the people who are involved with kind of managing the show. But then for callbacks, when they do have them, and I'm not really all that familiar with callbacks anymore.
You've heard of said things.
They don't make me do this, but that's usually if I have everybody together, everyone who's auditioning for the same roles together, and so they can really kind of see you next, head to head, and that's to be a little more nerve-wracking at times. But
you've done a few of these. No, and I'm sure you'd have to do many more. But how do you know when you knocked it out of the park? When you walk away and you stop at Starbucks, grab a coffee on the way home, and you're like, "Oh, I killed that tune. I know." How do you know? Do you get a feel?
There are stories about actors who have that level of confidence in the world, but I've never actually come across one.
Okay.
We tend to be nitpicky creatures. It's just like, oh man, if I just done this way, it'd be so much better. But there are times where it's like, that went really well. So what I think
I think you hit
and-
something. I don't know that I've known anybody that does acting that is confident. Everyone thinks they are because they're willing to stand on stage, but they're the most scared creatures of all time because you're always looking for approval. I did the audition. I hope I sang one of. Oh, I hope my damn thing was good enough. It's a sad case of not being who you really are. Well, actors.
It is.
But yeah.
So once you are picked, then you get to the point where it's like, now I can,
Yeah.
now I can go out and be, fantastic. But yeah, so that's why it always gets funny when. Now, again, not as much at this level, at the community theater, semi-professional level, but you don't get as many of the "Hey, I'm great. I'm here to."
Didn't see me in my last show.
Yeah, and Now, I'm not saying it never happens, and those can be amusing, where it's like someone spends the entire rehearsal process telling you about the shows and the people they've worked with and things of that sort. It's like, okay, but yeah.
All right, fair enough. Let us know how that goes, will you? I'm excited for you again. I'm not going to tell you to break a leg. I don't know if they still do that. That's old school, but all right, let us know how that goes. Let's talk some sporting action if we can. Do you do any Masters stuff at all? Do you follow them? Do you care? And you don't. You can say no. I have two exciting things.
I used
to, talk
to,
about
but only very, very only very limited nowadays. So no, that's but no, not really.
Okay,
Unfortunately.
first day, Rose goes out, shoots lights out, 7 under. Good for him. That's remarkable. The remarkable story. This is so wrong, but I just lived this guy's life. This amateur gets on like the 12th hole. He's up by Rays Creek. You probably heard about Rays Creek, and he's got to go to the bathroom. He has to go to the bathroom. The guy he's playing with has got Justin Thomas is having some issue on the green, so they're taking some time. He doesn't realize on the next tee box is a restroom for him. He goes, I didn't know. I just had to go. So he went over just off the green, down this little hill, and he piddled into this creek that goes into Rays Creek. And he goes, I just opened at the Masters. You're the amateur. You're invited to come. He's never getting invited again. And that's the story for the day, because the folks are, as much as you want to hide on that golf course, there's every camera, every human being wandering around. Yeah. He comes out to wild applause. He goes, here's the most applause I had all day. I'm sorry. That's so, if you're a golfer, at some point you just go, I'm not going to putt over this. And I gotta go. And the world's your oyster. Unless you're at the Masters, so I thought I'd share that.
The Masters, oh my God, yeah. I mean, this just screams the Bill Murray Caddyshack. He's Cinderella story. And he's the guy that's that the Masters. The Masters management says, "Oh, we don't want your type here." Yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore how well this kid ever does in golf. He will not be invited back to the Masters. They have all these rules. You win tournaments, you get in, you win it. He's never being invited back. This is an invite-only tour, and I want to invite him to my course. Go anywhere. If there's a tree.
You pee on my grounds. It ain't happening.
Just love it. We got to go to break. We'll talk sports. We got sports to talk about. I got Wolves, unbelievable. The Twins. We'll talk about that with Dan at the end of the bench right after this.
There are many ways to explore Alexandria. Some like to experience the outdoors and all the fun winter in Minnesota can provide. Pick your favorite way to get in touch with nature. Others like to explore downtown in the warm comfort of a boutique or gathered around a table with friends. You can do all of that or relax and do nothing at all. Come explore Alexandria. Start planning at explorealex.com.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com. Bing Main.
You know that comment you said to the radio? The thing that we got wrong?
Clearly, Brussels sprouts are the worst vegetable.
Call us and let the world know your thoughts. 855-257-7469. That's 855-ALS-SHOW.
We got him, Dan, from the end of the bench. Appreciate him being here talking all things sports. Let's talk your Minnesota Timberwolves. These guys are driving me nuts. Great win yesterday, by the way, 141-125 over a team we had to win, Memphis. I went to bed. Last game they played, they had a 25-point lead. I went to bed. We had this thing locked with 10 minutes ago, and they blew it. Now we're all tied up. It's 5 points at the halftime, and I said, okay, go play it out. I can't stay up any later. A 52-point third quarter. Good God. Great. They almost blew that in the fourth, but still, what do you think of this squad? What do you, I mean,
almost, it's kind of like, what more do you say except that it's, a radio show, so we got to say something, right?
Fill me with something brilliant.
They're a good, they are a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, this is a good team. They've shown us enough that we know they are good enough to make at least some level of playoff run.
Yeah.
It's at the same time, we also know that they could drop themselves into the play-in and just doo-doo all over themselves, so it's to use the technical term.
Yeah, doo-doo. If you look at the list, we are in 8th place, tied with 3 other teams, Memphis, Golden State, 1 game behind Clippers and Nuggets, 2 behind LA and being in 3rd place. I mean, let's just be honest, thing could happen and we become the 3rd place team. That's not going to happen, by the way. But we have 2 very easy teams coming up. We must win. Very easy might be overstating, but we have to win. And in that, because the other teams are kind of playing each other, at least 1 game in there, we could move up 1 spot. If everything works out 2, in which case we're in the 6th seed, it could work for us, but we have to win out. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing for us to have to do anything. Good game last game, but
especially against mediocre teams.
Yes.
Because, I looked at the schedules and say, by far we have the easiest remaining 2 games. By far of all these 5 or 6 teams that are in all clumped together, and that seems more terrifying than if they had a tough schedule ahead, because it's like they should win, and they probably will win both these games, but we all have enough of that that feeling.
Let me throw this at you. Let me throw this at you though. Does the idea that we've had the easiest schedule the last month of the year, now they didn't know that going into the year, but it ends up being the way it's scheduled out. We've had the easiest last month of the year by far for these teams. Great, maybe it gets you in, maybe even gets you in at 6, but you haven't played really hard teams for a while. Now you beat Memphis, you know what I'm saying? Are we battle ready or not? I don't know. I don't know what this.
I think so. I think that can be really overplayed sometimes. We're
in radio, my friend. That's why we do these things. We overplay.
I will overplay. I will overplay plenty.
That's your first card down.
Come on, we've got the Twins. So, but that's it's. They had the easiest schedule the last month, and how have they moved in the standings during that time?
They haven't at all. That they're in 8th spot. Yeah,
that's like
that's a great way of putting it. Let's do this tonight, 8:00. It's Brooklyn, and then 2:30 on Sunday, and then we'll have all this stuff figured out Monday when you come back. I want to talk some Major League Baseball. I made fun 2 days ago when the pitcher got dribbled a ball, he launched it over the first baseman's head, and then the guy doesn't get first, he gets all the way to 3rd because it was like a 6th grade T-ball game.
Yep.
Well, we got to see it again. Now, the pitch to first, the try to get throw a guy out at first is always got that, because there's a guy running at the first baseman, it's always hard. But they did it again.
Yep.
A terrible throw to first base.
Hey, did you like that? We'll show it to you again. Oh no, wait, it's real. It's live. Yeah.
What do you? It's you. These are professionals, and everybody makes mistakes, but they just seem, at least so early in the year, to be absolutely hitting us and hitting us and hitting us. Well, at least something's getting a hit in a Minnesota uniform. Sorry, that's really bad. What do we do? You're not worried yet.
not
You're
wrong.
still smiling. This is so
Well,
crazy to me.
I was gonna say is, but because there's so many Vikings fans out there, so I can put in some of that analogy.
There
Let's
you go.
say you just played the first game of the year, and you not only did you lose, but you lost miserably to a, not a, to a team. How does your average Vikings fan feel about the rest of the season at that point?
Great analogy.
Oh
You
my
feel
God.
miserable because it's such a short season. Baseball guys can throw out there's 160 to play yet, or whatever. You can throw that. Viking fan, okay, only 16 to go. You got a 17th of your season every weekend. It hurts more, but you have to move on quicker. Baseball's such an interesting deal. We are in a bit of a rut, 4-9. Things are not going our way. Is it bad juju? I don't know. But because we'll hit you again tomorrow, we'll hit you again tomorrow, and it's just this repetitiveness, it's harder to bust a bad streak, easier to get into one.
It is. That's funny because the players themselves love the idea that there's another game tomorrow, so they don't have to sit and stew in a bad loss. It's part of the reason I think why they're also trained in not being too upset about a bad loss early in this, and people get frustrated by that. It's like, how come you're not more upset about blowing this game? And it's like, yeah, we didn't do well, but we'll come out tomorrow and we'll that could be frustrating.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. The people's problem is like me. Let's go. I feel I got to watch for the show, so I try to watch as much as I can. So I'm a couple hours invested, and you see bad play, or you see a team that gives up when they're up 7-1. It seems as if I might have wasted my time. And then I get up next morning and read the big review about it, and then I spend some time talking about it. I'm thoroughly invested, and at times I don't feel my Minnesota teams are. Is that okay?
No, it's not okay. But
the feeling, it's a normal feeling. I mean, I'm not.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
I think people can relate. I think there's a lot of people that can relate to that. I know I can certainly. It's just like, I just spent X number of hours, and I mean, you know me. This is my this is my life. I mean, yeah. There's the work I do. There's the theater stuff.
The thing called family.
Baseball. I know. It's baseball. And so yeah, it's hard. And right now I'm at that point where it's just like, is this just miserable? Are we gonna be? Is this just
put your Baldelli hat for me? I know we got to watch out for Buxton. He's a softie. He might get hurt, but we need bats. We're not batting 200 as a team, and they sat him for 2 games in a row. We need a stick. Somebody hit the ball.
You got to be fair. We don't know what it is yet, but they have. But that one's a little different because it says person. There's some
he's got
family
I didn't catch that.
Stuff going on. So I know. That was my original thought too. And it said he's out tonight too. Holy crap!
I didn't get. Okay, that's on me.
So yeah. So so we don't know. We don't know yet. So I just hope it's nothing too serious. But at the same time, it's. They need the spark. This is the lifeless. They'll either score 7 runs or they'll score 1. It's like
I don't get it. It's Apple TV tonight. How do you think we do? I got 30 seconds against Detroit. Detroit 3 games tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday afternoons.
I do see 2 out of 3 coming up against Detroit. Detroit does have some good pitching.
They are division leading, Dave. Dan, they're division leading Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, Skubal is a Cy Young winner, reigning Cy Young winner. But the offense we don't know a whole lot about this team yet, so it's there are a lot of unknowns. But I think we can take 2 out of 3 for sure.
I love it. Got to fly. Got to go, Dan. Appreciate you being here. Dan, the lone guy at the end of the bench on the Al Travis Show.
See ya.